Today on Stock Charts in Focus, we're giving you an exclusive sneak peek at everything that's coming to the site this weekend with our latest product relaunch. We got a whole slew of new features rolling out across every corner of the site starting this weekend, and you guys are going to be the first to hear about it. We're going to have lots more coming to the show as these features roll out, but this is going to be the first place that we pull back the covers, show you what's coming to the site. Plus, we're going to do a little bit of revisiting of something that came out with our last product release. One of my favorite new features, scheduled scans, a total game changer for all of us scanners out there. If you're running the same scans every day, this is a feature that you need to be using. So lots to cover on the show today. Of course, you know what it is. It's all new. It's all here. It's Stock Charts in Focus. All right, my friends, welcome to the show, Stock Charts in Focus. Of course, our product focus show here on the channel where we dig into the site, dive into the tools, show you around the features, and ultimately help you get more value out of Stock Charts. That's our mission here every Friday, 3 p.m. Eastern time, our new time airing on Fridays, but also up on our YouTube channel after that, and of course, the on-demand platform at StockChartsTV.com. Lots of different ways to watch. I'm your host for the show. My name is Grayson Roze, Vice President of Operations here at StockCharts.com. So good to be with you. And this is an exciting episode because you guys are getting an exclusive sneak peek. You're the first to hear about some very exciting new features coming to the site starting this weekend. Now, we're getting this announcement out a little bit early. I just really can't contain myself, to be honest. We got some very, very cool things that are going to be rolling out around Stock Charts starting today into tomorrow. Over the course of the weekend, we're going to be updating a whole bunch of different corners of the website. We're talking new features for your dashboard, new features for chart list, new features, of course, in ACP. We always got something happening over there. We've even got new features happening with RRG, one of our very cool visualizations, kind of stepping back from those traditional price charts and seeing momentum and relative strength in a new way. So we're going to have tons and tons and tons for you over the next couple of weeks, really digging into some of those big features that are rolling out. We're going to highlight each one in detail on its own. We're also going to take a look at kind of everything more broadly, just give you a sense of what's rolling out with this new summer product release that's coming to the site. Today, though, like I said, I am jumping the gun a little bit in the sense that these features haven't landed just yet. By the time that you actually watch this show, some of them might have. So if you go kind of check out some of the things that we're going to mention, you might see some of this stuff. But as the coming week sort of rolls on, we're going to have more announcements for you on this show next week as well. We're going to also have announcements in our Chart Watchers newsletter, and we're going to have an email that goes out that summarizes everything. Of course, we're also going to have a very helpful release notes page that puts all of the info that you need to know, sort of highlighting and describing each new feature in detail, all in one place. So that release notes page is definitely going to be something that you want to check out so you make sure that you get all the info that you need. To kind of get ahead of that, I want to show you where you're going to be able to find that and also highlight where you can find all the information about our last product release that rolled out in the spring. We had some big new features that rolled out around the site in the spring, and we did the exact same thing. We put together a helpful page kind of summarizing everything. What we're going to actually spend the back half of today's show talking about, scheduled scans, was one of those big features. We've made some improvements, some enhancements, some adjustments to that scheduled scans feature since it initially rolled out. This is something that I am using every single day. I kid you not, it is really part of my process now, and I think that it should be part of every Stock Charts user's process, the daily and weekly routines. If you're using scans at all, scheduled scans is a really important one. So anyways, we're going to show you where you can find more about everything that rolled out as part of that other release, and that's going to be the exact same place where you can find all the new stuff about our new product release starting next week. So let's jump over to the site really quick. We'll walk you through that, show you how to find all that, and then we'll jump into the meat of today's show. We'll give you a little bit of a teaser of some of these features that are coming, but then we'll get into scheduled scans. So here we go. All right, everyone. So to start, I want to make sure that you know how to find the new announcements, all the new things that rolled out around Stock Charts the last release we did in the spring, but then also where you're going to find those release notes that I mentioned for the next product release that's going to be rolling out starting this weekend. So we are here on our charts and tools page. Of course, you can get here by going up to charts and tools, top left corner of any page around the site. Once you're on this page, you can scroll all the way down past all of the feature cards and all the tool cards there. And in the very bottom section, education and support, you can see that we do have a card labeled What's New. This is where you can learn about all the latest features, additions, anything going on around StockCharts. This is where we are going to put up a little notice about it and let you know. So you can click on that card. Now, if you're paying attention to the URL, or if you prefer to just kind of type in a destination and hit go, you can always go to stockcharts.com/new. That's going to take you right to this page, to our What's New page. But here, what we did with our spring release was we put a card at the very top of the page that described all the new features that rolled out as part of what we called our Alki product release. So this was the past in the spring. This past spring, we rolled out a ton of new features, including things like scheduled scans, new chart list views, tons of new stuff in ACP as well. And so as part of that, we put together a helpful page to summarize all that, make sure that you know exactly what is new on the site and how to access it. So this release notes page, if you missed this with our spring product launch, this is definitely something you should go back and take a look at. This is a ton of new things that you definitely want to be aware of. You know, things like earnings date chart markers right on your charts, scanning for and alerts for some of the indicators included in our ACP plugins. Lots and lots of stuff. And then we have a whole list of kind of smaller features down at the bottom. So we're going to be doing the exact same thing with our next product launch, which we are calling Bainbridge. Again, that's going to be coming out starting this weekend into next week as well. We're going to have plenty more announcements for you, emails going out. We'll have this page up on the site. We'll have banners across the site as well so that you can access it really easily. And then we're also going to cover more of the features that are coming out in Bainbridge on this show next Friday, and probably for the next couple of weeks after that. So there's going to be no shortage of information to help you see all that's new with this latest product release. But this is definitely going to be one of the pages that you're going to want to go and pull up. So we're going to have something very, very similar to this, highlighting all of those Bainbridge features. Now, to give you a quick sneak peek of kind of what is coming, I know I mentioned some things. We have a whole slew, just like we did with the Alki release here. We have a whole slew of new features, big and small, coming to StockCharts. Some of the highlights that are going to be very, very cool. Again, we're going to walk through this as they actually roll out. We'll highlight some of this stuff starting next week on the show. We've got a brand new chart panels feature coming to your dashboard. Actually lets you take some of your favorite charts, some of the ones that you want to watch every single day, put those right on the dashboard. So your dashboard really can be an incredible sort of market analysis resource for you, especially when you start to customize those panels. We've added rows to that dashboard over time, different panels that you can customize. And we're doing that again with our next release, adding charts right onto the dashboard. So a very, very cool feature coming there. We've got an entirely new version of our chart list edit page, which if you are a chart list user, you know is one that you spend a lot of time on. This is the page that you use to rename charts, add symbols to a specific list, add things from a group, move things from one list to another, copy, move, merge, whatever you want to do. So we have some very, very cool features coming to that edit page, going to make it much, much easier to use. You're going to be able to actually type directly in the table to edit things. Moving everything around has gotten a lot easier. Just a really kind of updated, cleaner, more user-friendly design for that edit view. So very excited about that one. Of course, we've got some exciting stuff coming to ACP. Price alerts are going to be listed or sort of labeled, indicated right on your charts. If you have a price alert for any symbol, we're going to have a horizontal line going right across the chart automatically to display where you've set that price alert. So very exciting stuff there. We're taking the performance view that we actually released as part of our Alki release. Down here, we did a set of new chart list views in the spring. One of those was the performance view, which you can read about down here. Basically shows you all these different sort of price performance metrics over different time frames for a group of securities in a chart list. Very, very helpful to see. You can sort that table. You can do anything that you want with it. But it's also got this very cool comparison feature. So you can actually view relative strength for a whole group of symbols over all of these different time periods, sort that table, find the ones that have been leading for across multiple time periods, like 1 month, 3 month, and 6 month. So a very, very cool view that we brought out to SharpCharts. We're bringing that to ACP as well, starting this weekend. So you're going to be able to look for that. And then one other very cool one that we're bringing out is intraday RRG charts. Something that people have been asking us for quite some time. If you're an RRG user, this is going to be fantastic for you. RRG charts are those 4 quadrants colored differently that show rotation. They allow you to see relative strength and momentum as it changes across a group of securities. A very, very cool tool invented by a close partner of ours and a frequent contributor on StockCharts TV and across the site, Julius de Kempenaar. He is the creator of RRG charts. We've worked with Julius over the past couple of months to bring intraday RRG charts to the site. So we've had daily and weekly RRGs in the past, but you're going to have a whole bunch of new intraday time periods that you can create those RRG charts over. So very, very cool stuff there. Again, all of this is things that a group of things that we'll highlight on the show as we go forward. So we'll have lots more. And of course, like I mentioned, again, we'll have one of these release notes pages that will have all the details of these different features. Those are some of the kind of big ones that are probably going to be listed up at the top like this. But we have a whole set of other features, sort of smaller features that we're rolling out across the site as well. Things that'll kind of end up in a list like this. So lots and lots coming to the site with this Bainbridge release. Again, that's going to be rolling out today and tomorrow, kind of through the weekend, and then we'll have more announcements for you starting next week to really kind of dig into that. So we're going to have some fun. We will make sure that you know exactly what is new. We'll make sure that you can get a link to the release notes page for that new Bainbridge product release. But until then, that's kind of your quick sneak peek, if you will, a little preview, highlighting some of those different features that are going to roll out very, very soon. So with that out of the way, we are going to jump over to our topic for today, which is actually this first block up at the top, something that we call scheduled scans. Now, at a high level, scheduled scans allow you to set any scan from your account to run automatically at a time of your choosing. We are actually going to continue to evolve this feature. I'm giving you now a little bit of a preview for what's coming out in the fall or later this summer. We're going to continue to evolve this feature in a couple of different creative ways, make those custom timeframes even sharper, even more powerful. But you do have tons and tons of options for when you want those scheduled scans to run. The key, though, is that if you've got a scan that you run every day or every week, you can set that up as a scheduled scan, and it's going to run that scan and save those results for you without you having to go in and manually take those actions. It is a huge time saver. And one of the really nice features is that every time one of those scheduled scans runs, we also kick off an email sent right to your inbox that's got all of the results listed right there for you. So you can actually kind of use this as an alerting function in a way. You can have these scans set up, they can run, they can save those results to your account so you can come back, review those charts, annotate them, save them, move them, do anything you want, especially when that new edit view comes out. But you can save those scheduled scans, and you can also get this email report at the end of the day or in the morning whenever you set your scheduled scans to run. So again, this is something that I am using every single day. I want to walk you through that feature, make sure that you know what it is and how you can use it. We'll talk a little bit about how I'm personally using it as well. So to start, let's actually jump over to the scanning workbench. We're going to run a scan. We're going to take a look at kind of how that process works. That'll give you some good background for kind of why this scheduled scan feature exists. So let's jump over to our scanning workbench. So like I said, I want to kind of give you the foundation for why this scheduled scans feature exists. To do that, the best thing that we can do is just run a scan and kind of talk through the options, make sure that you see how this process works when it's not scheduled. So what we're going to do, we're going to select a scan from our account. And now, like I said, we're going to talk a little bit about kind of my process and how I'm using this feature. In my case, I love scanning for new highs, new 52-week highs and new all-time highs, something we've talked about on the show quite a lot. So one of the scans that I run every single day, have for years after the close, every single day without fail, I have run this S&P 1500 new 52-week highs scan. Very, very simple scan. It's just going to give me a list of everything in the S&P 500, 400, and 600 that's made a new 52-week high that day. Now, historically, I would run this scan every single day after the close, and I would save those results into a chart list. So I would do this process every single day. Come up here, select this scan. I would hit run. I would see what comes back. I would go, okay, this is interesting. We got 10 results. Maybe I highlight a couple of them, hover over these symbols to kind of see what those charts look like to get a sense of them. But I would run this scan every single day after the close manually. And then I would come to this page and I would say, okay, now I want to save these results. In my case, what I actually did was I set up a chart list in my account that was basically a scan dump bucket for this scan specifically. So I would select this merge with list option, which is going to basically take all of the results and put them into a chart list of my choosing, unless any duplicates exist, in which case those will get ignored. That's what the merge option does. That's as opposed to replacing a list, which will take everything out of it, put all the new results in there, or creating a new list entirely. Those are your three options here. But in my case, I would come to this page, I would select merge with list, and I would actually go find a list in my account. As you can see down here, I've got a couple of them, S&P 1500 new 52-week highs weekly. I would select this list and I would save these results. I would merge these new 52-week high results into that chart list every single day. This is a manual process that I would do. Now, at the end of the week, because I had been merging these results in every single day, at the end of the week, what I would end up with is a chart list full of all the stocks in the S&P 1500 that had matched that scan throughout the week. Again, because I had been doing that every single day, building up that chart list. So by the time I got to Friday, after Friday's close, I would run this scan and I would actually have a list of all the stocks in the S&P 1500 that made a new 52-week high that week. It's a great list to work from. That's where a lot of my ideas traditionally come from. It's a great starting place. But the key is that that's a really manual process. It's taken a lot of my time every single day after the close. I got to open up my laptop. I got to come to the site. I got to hit all these buttons. And really, some days I wasn't even actually analyzing any of those charts. I wasn't even looking at the results. I just knew that I wanted that scan to run every single day. That was part of my kind of daily scanning routine. Making sure those scans run, making sure I save those results, making sure I have them ready for me at the end of the week. In my case, I would actually do this for a whole bunch of different groups. You can see if I open up kind of all the scans in my account, I would actually do this also for S&P 1500 stocks making new all-time highs. I would do a scan for stocks that were making a new 52-week high, but not an all-time high. And I would do this for some other groups as well. So things like the NASDAQ 100 making new all-time highs. I have a ETF scan that I do that's basically strong ETFs making new highs. So I would do this multiple times for a whole group of symbols. And it was a time-intensive process. So this is really kind of where that scheduled scan concept was born. We sat around and I shared this process with the team, and we looked at it and we said, well, this is kind of silly. If it really is just the same scans that you want to run every single day and you want those saved into a specific chart list, let's automate that process. Let's make it easier for people. And on top of that, we can build on this email feature that'll run that scan for you and send you an email with those results. So you can actually see the results without having to do anything. You set it up and it runs for you. That's where the scheduled scans feature has come from. And it is a huge time saver, something that I am really enjoying. So to access the scheduled scans feature, you've got a couple of different ways that you can do this. There is a card on the charts and tools page. If you're up on that charts and tools page, again, top left corner of any page around the site, you've actually got a link to it on your dashboard. I want to show you that really quickly. Right here in the member tools section, you can hit scheduled scans, and that's going to take you right over to that feature. But if you're actually back on that, if you're back on that scanning workbench, you can see you also have tabs across this page. You've got a list of all of the scans in your account. You've got the scan workbench itself. Of course, you've got our predefined scans, another great feature that we've covered on the show many times. But the new one is you now have a scheduled scans tab. So Jumping over to that scheduled scans page is very, very easy, especially if you're already on the scanning workbench. Just got to flip over to that scheduled scans tab. And then setting these up is very, very quick. You can see that I actually have 12 of 25 already created in my account. What you're doing is selecting the scan that you want to schedule. You're selecting the timing when you want that scan to run. And then you're selecting what you want to do with those results, the action that you want that scheduled scan to take. So we'll walk through this really quickly. I'll show you kind of how to set one of these up. We're going to open up that first menu, which is where we select our scan. So let's say we're working off of that same new 52-week high scan. This is one that you can actually copy and do yourself. You could do this with the Dow stocks, S&P 500 stocks, whatever you want to do. This I find is a great scan to find new ideas from. So little pro tip there. But you can select that scan, whichever one you want to run, no matter what the criteria is. If you've created a scan on that scan workbench and you've saved that to your account, you'll be able to select that from this menu right here. So in my case, we're going to select our new 52-week highs scan. Then we're going to pick our timing. Now, we've got a couple of different options in here. Depending on kind of which country you are trading or analyzing, you can choose the open or the close of the US market, of the Canadian market, UK, or India. You can also choose a totally custom time. Now, especially if you're using this for cryptos, if you're trading cryptos, this might be something that you want to do. We'll take a look at that in just a sec. You can choose any of these options though. So you just say, let's maybe say you want to do it like I traditionally do. Maybe you want to run these scans after the market closes every single day. So you could select something like the US market close. Again, if you want to select a totally custom time, this is in UTC time, so you got to do a little bit of a conversion there. But you can actually choose exactly when you want this to run. Maybe you're looking at those cryptos at a specific time of day, and so you want this to run every single day at a specific time. You can do that with this custom time option. In my case, again, we're going to set this up at the US market close. That's when I want these scans to run. And then we're going to take a look at what our action is. So when we open up this menu, we've got three options that are very similar to those scan results saving options that we looked at before from the scan results page itself. You could save this in a new chart list, an entirely new chart list. Every single time this scheduled scans run, your scheduled scan runs, it's going to create a new chart list in your account, date and time stamped with those results already saved into it. You could merge these results into an existing chart list. This is the one that I typically use, again, to kind of build up those lists throughout the week. I have my scheduled scans running every single day after the close, merging the results into the same list. And by the time I get to post Friday close, I can sit down with that chart list, analyze everything in it, and I know that it is something that has triggered that scan at some point during that week. The other option you have is replacing an existing chart list. So if you're going to go in and you're going to look at this chart list every single day, you could actually set one up where it's going to replace the list every single day with the new results. You could then, move those around, save the ones that you want, maybe pull out the favorites, put those in a different watch list, whatever you want to do with it. But that is your third option, replacing an existing chart list. The next thing to talk through though is the different types of chart lists that you have. So this feature does work whether you're an ACP user or whether you're a StockCharts user. In either case, the scheduled scans feature will work for you. That's actually one of the big improvements that we've made since this feature initially rolled out with that spring product launch. So we'll walk through this again really quickly. When you save a new chart list, you have two buttons right here, two sort of toggles. You can choose which one works for you. If you are a StockCharts user and you want all your chart lists to be created in those StockCharts chart list kind of areas, then you can leave this alone. It's going to be defaulted to StockCharts right there. If you're an ACP user and you want these scheduled scans to create a new chart list in ACP so that you can use them over in that advanced charting platform, all you have to do is select ACP, make sure that that is highlighted in blue, and then you hit save. And this thing is going to be scheduled. You have scheduled a scan in really just a couple of clicks filling out these menus. Now you can do the exact same thing with your merge and replace options. This is a little bit different because in this case, you're looking at chart lists that you've already created in your account. So I can open this up. When you do that, you can see that in this menu, we've actually got two groups. You've got SharpCharts chart lists. That's going to list all of those out at the very top. And at the bottom, we're going to actually have another group of ACP chart lists. Now, I've got a ton of SharpCharts chart lists in my account because I have a whole bunch of chart packs in there. Another feature for another day. But depending on kind of which world you choose, one of these is probably going to be relatively empty and the other one is going to be relatively full. So you've got two groups in there. Just pay attention to those little kind of gray labels, those little separators that separate those two groups. But if you've got any ACP chart lists that you want to merge your results into, those will be listed right here in this menu. All your SharpCharts chart lists will also be listed here in this menu, so you can just kind of find the one that you want to work with. Again, select that from the menu. You can see that's going to show up here, and you are good to go. In this case, we would do something like our S&P 1500 new 52-week highs chart list. We can do the exact same thing with replace, just to show you that really quickly. Once you select replace, you've got that exact same menu, so you can select any of the chart lists from your account that you want to actually replace. Again, all that you got to do from here is hit that big green button at the bottom, save scheduled scan. You'll get a little confirmation, and there you go. You've scheduled your scans. So in my case, again, I'm using this feature, like I said, every single day. I've got 12 of these scheduled scans set up in my account. You can actually see those different ones that I am currently using. Again, I've got automated scans running for new all-time highs in the S&P 1500, new 52-week highs in the S&P 1500. I actually have that one running twice. I have one list that gets replaced every day so that I get a sort of a fresh list that I can look at after the close every day. And then I've got that weekly list that's actually being built up throughout the week. So by the time I get to the weekend and I'm doing my my portfolio review on Saturday, Sunday, I can look back at that list full of everything that made a new 52-week high at some point during the week. I've got a theme trades group of lists that I'm constantly playing around with. So I've got new 52-week highs that sweep that list of group of chart lists as well. This is kind of a random one that stocks between $15 and $40 that are making new 52-week highs. Again, I use this for some really creative, fun ways. I mentioned the ETF stuff. So we've got ETFs making new 3-month highs, also ETFs making new 52-week highs. Those get put actually into the same chart list. And then on the weekend, I've got a list of all these strong ETFs that have made a new high that week. Not too many of those right now, but when times are good, that list is definitely one that I get to slog through. I've got some custom scans as well down here below. So rising scooters above 80s. I've got kind of this loosely named custom highs scan. Work in progress is what that WIP stands for. So you can see that I'm using this for a whole bunch of different reasons. Down at the bottom, we've got the Dow and the NASDAQ 100, like I mentioned before. But these are set up and they are running every single day. Now, this table here gives you a couple of key little data points as well. You can actually come to this page every day for a little report on your different scheduled scans. This is going to tell you when this last ran, and it's going to tell you actually what happened, how many results came back, what happened with those scheduled scans. Now, in this case, yesterday was such an ugly day that these really didn't trigger very many things. You can see that we had 2 stocks in the S&P 1500 made a new 52-week high yesterday after Thursday's close. We're recording this here on Friday. So you can see that that's actually kind of an interesting little metric to see. Basically, no stocks made new highs yesterday. So this was a little bit boring. But you can come to this page every day after the close or whenever your scheduled scans are set to run and get a little report, confirm that they actually ran, see how many results came back. And if you want to jump right to the chart list that you've actually set these up for, you can just click on the name of this chart list right here in the table. So this is nice. It kind of tells you, exactly what your scheduled scans are, but also gives you quick links. You can click on the scan name to start to edit that scan, or click on the chart list name to open up that chart list as well. A couple different options there. If you ever want to pause or delete any of these, or if you want to edit them, you've got those actions right here in this menu. So you can quickly pause or restart any of these scans. If you do want to trash them, get rid of them, drop them out of your account, you got the delete button right there. When you hit the edit button, you can see that this menu gets populated with what you've clicked here. So let's do maybe S&P 1500 rising scooters. You can see that all of these menus now have changed. We've got our different scan here. We've got our different chart list here. We've got merge selected. So you can always edit any of your existing scheduled scans. Just got to fill out those menus and hit save. If you do want to replace a list or replace a scan, I would recommend just kind of deleting one. They're so quick to set up that sometimes instead of fumbling around with these menus, going and changing them, you can just delete the one that you want to update, start over again, filling out those menus up top. But it is very, very easy to work with these scheduled scans. Now, I'm sure you're probably wondering what those emails look like. So let's see if we can do this. Boom. We're going to put up an email. This is what those scheduled scans emails look like. Very, very simple, but very, very helpful. I find that I love getting these reports. Now, I've got 12 scheduled scans in my account, so I actually get 12 of these emails every single day with a little report of what happened with that scheduled scan. If you only had one or two of these, this becomes a really nice kind of manageable thing that you can breeze through on your phone, on your tablet, on your laptop, wherever you are. We're going to send you one of these scheduled scan emails. It's going to be really, really easy to follow those results right from your phone. Of course, that also has a link to the chart list. It makes it really easy to jump back over to the website, start digging into those charts that have come back from that scheduled scan. But again, this is a fantastic feature that I am really, really loving. Something that has taken a lot of time off of my workload here at the end of the day. Instead of fumbling around with all those buttons, doing that 12 times, I've just got those set up. My scans are scheduled. My scans are running for me automatically in the background. And I get to spend more time just thinking about the results, enjoying the charts, annotating, thinking about markets. It's a lot better than clicking buttons, isn't it? So that is the scheduled scans feature in a nutshell. So this has been a bit of a long episode. I know we covered some new things that are coming a little bit loosely. We are going to dig into all of that in much greater detail over the next couple of weeks. Like I said, on this show, this is going to be the place to see and hear about all those new features that we're rolling out with that Bainbridge product release. By the way, if you're wondering why it's called Bainbridge, the first one was Alki, which is a beach and an area here in the Seattle area where StockCharts is located. But Alki starts with an A. Bainbridge is an island around Seattle, starts with a B. The next one is going to start with a C, and so on and so forth. So that's how our team internally is kind of keeping track of these product releases. But instead of just saying, here's our summer product release, we thought it'd be more fun to actually share those names with you. So Alki, Bainbridge, the next one is going to be Camino, starts with a C, but gives you kind of a sense of why we've used these funny Seattle names. They're all locations around Seattle. So you'll see some of those names, get to know your Seattle geography if you're following along with these product releases. But we're going to have more for you on that as it rolls out. Keep an eye out for some of those features. Again, your dashboard, edit view for your chart lists in Sharp Charts there, some ACP features coming out. You'll start to see some of those features even before we have a chance to get all the announcements out. So you can really kind of be Sherlock Holmes there, investigating all the different corners of the website to find the new stuff as it comes out. That process, though, is starting today and tomorrow through the weekend. We're going to be rolling out all those new features. So very excited to share more with you. Next week, we'll have that release notes page, a very, very helpful summary of all the stuff that'll get you to the right location for those new features. Hopefully you enjoyed also sitting down and taking another look at that scheduled scans feature. Again, something I'm using every day. Absolutely love it. It's been a total game changer. So hopefully you have some fun setting up those scheduled scans. If you've got scans that you want to run every week, every day, whatever it is, schedule them. Let them work for you. Let them be automated there in the background. Enjoy those emails. You got your chart lists. You can manage those. It becomes a great way to kind of build some routine, some scanning routine into your process. So hopefully you enjoyed seeing that scheduled scans feature in action. Definitely quickly becoming one of my favorites around the site. I want to thank you, though, for joining me on the show today. Again, my name is Grayson Roze, Vice President of Operations here at StockCharts.com. You've been joining me for StockCharts in Focus, our product focus show, every Friday, 3 p.m. Eastern, digging into tools, digging into features, showing you what's new, and ultimately, we're just trying to help you get more value out of StockCharts. That's the mission here every week. If we've done that in any small way, then we have done our job and I have succeeded. That makes me happy. So hopefully you'll be back next week as we dig into some of these new features coming out as part of that Bainbridge summer product release. Very, very excited to share that with you. So I'll have lots more next week, and then on the show as well on next Friday. So I will see you then. But until then, hope you all have a fantastic weekend. And of course, chart on, my friends.
Hey guys, Dave Keller here with StockCharts.com. Thanks so much for watching our video. If you enjoyed it, and we hope you did, hit the like button right below. Also, we have so much new content every day. Consider subscribing to the channel. Just hit the subscribe button in the video or right below. Thanks for watching. Stay safe. Have a fantastic day.